One of the big things that we want to do is to raise awareness on electronic waste, because we see that there are new products coming out every year, a lot of new models coming out, but we all love the convenience and everything that it brings us, but we also have to focus on how it is impacting our environment. So that's just something that we want to do. Protecting the environment is one of the biggest problems that we want to solve. And the other is that from consumers' perspective, because I have a market research background, so I like to think that I know consumers a little more. We often come across people who are not buying a product because they don't know what they're getting. I'm sure you can go to a store and feel it out a little bit, but it's very different when you have the product to yourself for a couple of days and try it out and see whether or not it's a suitable product for you. So this is a big obstacle for businesses in getting more people to buy their products, and it's also something that is stopping consumers from enjoying more products. And the other is that a lot of consumers, they are very smart consumers, I would like to say, so they cannot justify paying a large sum of money for something that they're not going to use a lot of time, say like travel products. So these are something that we would like to help consumers with. And also from business perspective, like I mentioned earlier, they have certain obstacles in reaching very potential consumers. And also for startup product developers, they would like to put their resource into developing the product, but not so much into getting to know their potential customers and actually letting them try the product. So this is what we're trying to provide them to, a way to speak to consumers and understand what they think of the demo products. Yes. We started earlier this year, and we understand that to build a community, we need to get something going. It's a question of which comes first, like chicken or egg. So we started off getting our website and having the first lot of products that we purchased, and then we get them going. We have our initial user base, and then actually 2 weeks ago, early May, we launched a function where we let product users list their own products. So that's when we started getting product owners to join us and to share their products. So we have a Facebook page, and that is where we announce that, okay, we are starting to collect products and to connect people within our member base. And yeah, ever since the announcement on Facebook, we have quite good response in that we have a lot of games. So the post was about gaming. We have a lot of games, consoles coming in. So that is our focus. We ensure everything that is placed in our office, and also all transactions are made online right now. So before a renter checks out, he has to read our terms and condition, which specifically says we are holding a certain amount on your credit card, and if anything happens, if you just run away with a product or if you damage it, then you authorize us to charge this certain amount on your credit card. And we made it very clear to renters because we don't actually want to charge them. We want to make sure that they're aware and that they wouldn't do anything to the product. So we make it very clear to the renters. And for people who bring their products to us, we also sign a contract with them and says as long as the product is with us, we guarantee that we will return the product to you at a certain state. It will be working and everything, so you can be confident that we won't return anything broken to you. I grew up here, and so I would like to do something for the community, and I think it's a good time to do this in Hong Kong because people are getting more used to the idea of sharing communities with like Uber or Airbnb doing very successfully in Hong Kong, and people are actually rooting for Uber when things wasn't going right. It's very easy to get a business bank account, very easy to get a bank account, very easy to register as a company, and a lot of online services, they support Hong Kong too. So it's rather easy, and like you mentioned earlier, logistics isn't so much of a problem in Hong Kong compared to if I were to start in China or in the States where people are further apart and I will have to arrange for logistics. And I think the last thing is the startup community and the startup scene in Hong Kong. It's very interesting because Hong Kong is very influenced by the Western culture. We get like super large startup expos coming to Hong Kong in summer, and at the same time we're a part of China, so we can get connections with manufacturers, investors in China. So it's just a mix of West meet East, and it's a good place to build your connection and get the words out for a new business. We would like to expand to Asian cities like Taiwan. I have Taiwan and Singapore in mind because I think a lot of people know that Taiwan is very fond of the sharing concept, and they're very environmental friendly. So these are like the two things that we advocate, and so we see that the Taiwanese community would very much welcome us. And Singapore, it's very much like Hong Kong in terms of we speak the language, we know the city, we know people like enjoying different gadgets. So it's when you think about what cities we want to expand in, we want to make sure that we're going to places where we understand the community and what people need, instead of just like where the money goes. Because at the end of the day, I think answering customers' question is how we can go a long way. That's why we have different categories, not just travel ones. And it's also some marketing work, because say for this one, for May, we don't have any long weekends, I think. So we see that a lot less queries for GoPro, for example. But then we launched a marketing campaign, say, why not try out a new game console? So then people are starting to rent gaming stuff just for over the weekend, which they don't need a long weekend to enjoy. So from marketing approach, we are catering our messages to customers based on what time of the year and how much time they will have to play with the products. But as we are taking commission from each rental, I agree. I understand why you're bringing that up, and it's also why we brought in product developers into the equation, into the ecosystem, because we're trying to provide service to product developers too, and in the long run, I actually think that would be our major source of income in what we can provide to them in customers' feedback and as a marketing campaign for them, research campaign for them, and we will be charging extra as a service, but it would not be outrageous because we're trying to help each other out too.